All right, welcome back to the E3 Coliseum, day 2. This is a great year for E3 because there's so many new games here, and it's not a hardware year for new gaming console reveals, but I think we're all really curious about immersive gaming experiences and where they're going next. And AMD is not only a partner here at the Coliseum, but they power a lot of the consoles we play and a lot of the PCs we play. And this session is really all about looking at gaming, graphics, technology, computing power, and how it's going to push our industry forward. And one of the things I love about games is that they're this magical blend of technology and entertainment. And what that means is every year when we come to E3, we see games that look better, more immersive than ever before. So I'm really excited to talk about that. We've got some very special guests joining us as well from Rebellion and from Capcom, talking about Resident Evil 2. So we got some good stuff to show you guys here. But before we get started, I wanted to mention that we are going to be doing a special giveaway during the live stream in partnership with AMD. So head to live.e3expo.com/Twitch, and you'll be able to get a special giveaway by watching this live stream. Well, before we go any further, I want to introduce a very special guest who's here to tell us all about AMD and immersive gaming experiences. Please welcome Scott from AMD. Scott Herkelman.
People are out there.
Morning,
Hello,
Jeff.
Scott. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Good morning. Well, first of all, welcome to E3.
Thanks. We were talking backstage, and I just realized that this is like Christmas, New Year's Day, Oktoberfest. This is like the show for people who love gaming like us, who've been in it a long time, and there's no better time as a gamer than right now. Games are getting better and faster and more beautiful and fun.
I agree. No, as I mentioned, I love E3 because every year it's only going to get better because companies like AMD are helping game developers realize their vision and do such amazing work with improving the technology behind games. Let's talk a little about your background. We know you're a gamer, but what's your history? How have you been involved in gaming and sort of advancing the art form?
Yeah, I think, for me, gaming started back when I was really young with my friend. I grew up in the Midwest.
Yeah.
In the Midwest, you can return bottles and cans for money. Yeah. And so
That's how you funded your
We
PC.
would dumpster dive and find all the cans and bottles we could to get a quarter and then go play Joust at the 7-Eleven.
Wow.
But we spent so much time doing that, we probably could have bought a couple bicycles, but we never did, unfortunately, I think. But then Doom came out in the early 90s, and my dad had a Packard Bell. And he didn't know, but I was in his room because that's where his computer was, and I had the lights off, and I played that game, and it was the first game I was ever scared. I physically got scared. I remember running out of the room.
I was a kid. I remember December 10th, 1993, when the demo came out on PC and downloading it from, I think it was Software Creations BBS, and I just never seen my computer do something like that before, and it was
crazy.
so immersive and so scary.
I don't know if you remember the level where the wall opens up and the two brown monsters come out and attack you. That was it. I was like, what?
No. Yeah, hit the space bar. I was like,
I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah,
so,
no, and that's what, it's been amazing that was, more than 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But, 3D graphics and how they've advanced has been incredible. And as I said, I love especially the PC space because it's constantly evolving, and right now, I mean, you guys are pushing. We've seen VR push, we've seen 4K, 8K, HDR. I mean, all these things sort of continuing to happen. Tell us a bit about kind of the evolution, at least, of PC gaming, because it only gets better every year. But where are we at now, and sort of where do you think we're going in the future?
Yeah, I think that's a really great place to start, which is it's our job to make fast hardware.
Yeah.
And to make fast hardware that works with software to work with the games that everybody's hearing about at this show. And it's our job to continually make fast hardware to push resolutions, to push reality in game, and to make sure that what you see on a screen is something that your brain can process as more realistic as possible.
Yeah.
And it's a nice dance that we have with all of the game developers. The game developers are artists, and they want you to make you feel like you're in the game. And the only way to do that is have hardware that can keep up with their dreams. Yeah. And so we have to push things like HDR, which is high dynamic range. It's making the picture more beautiful and lifelike and realistic on the screen. We have to push technologies like FreeSync. FreeSync basically syncs your GPU frame to your monitor frame and makes it so that way there's no tearing, no stuttering, and keeps you in that game. And then we also have technologies for virtual reality. You know, we've been investing quite a bit in virtual reality, the tools and the applications and the development for that. So that way, as you put on that headset, latency is lower. You feel like you're in the game. You're less nauseous, we hope, in the future. But I think from our perspective, as you guys have seen from the games that have launched, even this week, it's our job to make hardware faster and faster, and that's all we care about is making the best products so you can enjoy your game and feel like you're in that environment.
Gaming is obviously a big part. It is E3. How important is gaming to AMD? I mean, people use AMD cards and technologies for lots of different computing purposes, as we've seen over the past year. But tell us about gaming and how vital that is to AMD's DNA.
Yeah, it's in our roots. As most of you know, we power Xbox. We power the PlayStation. It's our APU that are in both of those consoles. So, and we've done that for a long time. And on the PC side, we have three key verticals that we focus on for gaming. We have the CPU side, which we have fantastic products for. We have the GPU side for graphics, and then we have our software ecosystem to enable all of those powerful hardware pieces to make sure that ISVs can get the power they need to drive the game. So on the CPU side, it's Ryzen. And we have if you've seen the reviews lately, we have a Ryzen 7 2700X. If you pair it with the right GPU, you can play all the AAA games and esports that you want. And of course, this is our Threadripper 2nd Gen shirt. We just launched this last week. We're super proud of it. It's a 32-core processor, and if you look back at the histories of where we pushed the boundaries on CPUs, we were the first to 8-core in 2012, first to 16-core in 2017, and now we're the first to 32-core in 2018. And by the way, you don't need an aquarium to cool it. You could just plug it into a system, and you can make sure that you can drive all your latest and greatest games. It's perfect for gaming. And if you're an enthusiast, maybe you don't want the best just in gaming, but you want to do other applications for it, our 32-core Threadripper is absolutely the best. Google it, find out more information. It's if you want the absolute best in CPUs, you should get a Threadripper.
Fine. A lot of this audience, as you said, will push for the absolute best out there. Let's talk a little bit about Ryzen, because that's a brand that was introduced a couple years ago. I was honored to be with you guys with New Horizon when you sort of revealed it. Tell us about where Ryzen's at now and where it's going.
Yeah, I think our whole definition of Ryzen is to make sure that we're making the best CU possible for multiple industries, but specifically for the gamers that are watching this stream or in the audience. Our whole goal is to give you the best CPU in every class of category. We understand that at multiple price points, people can afford some things and people can't afford certain things, but we want to make top to bottom a CPU lineup that gives you exactly what you want to play, whether you're a AAA gamer or you're in esports. And so we've spanned that new Ryzen lineup from top to bottom, and including my favorite, the Threadripper processor up on the top, but all the way down to the bottom, so that way, depending upon what game you want to play, we have a CPU for you. And so for us, it's extremely important, not only over the last couple of years building up that roadmap, but our goal over this next couple of years with Ryzen is to make sure that we're continuing to push the boundaries on what we can do with clock speeds, with cores, and making sure that we're covering all those key price points for the gaming consumer and what they want to build in terms of a PC. And then we work with our OEM partners on the CPU side to make sure our OEM partners also have a wide variety of CPUs, whether it's a desktop, which I'm a huge fan of desktops, or for those of us who game and work, you want to thin and light. Ryzen has a fantastic number of options through our OEM partners through Dell, HP, Lenovo, Acer. We have a fantastic variety of different processors for you.
Absolutely. On the graphics side, Radeon, a brand that I get in my driver updates all the time. You guys do such a great job, keeping folks posted on how to optimize your game. What is the state of Radeon right now?
Okay, so the state of Radeon is we do the same thing that we do in the CPU side, which is we want to cover all the key price points for gamers. Some gamers just like to play esports, and for us, that's the Radeon RX 560. Perfect for esports gaming, gives you high frame rates. If you're a Dota 2, Counter-Strike, or League of Legends guy, I'm a huge League of Legends guy. I probably spend too much time on that, but that's the perfect GPU for you. And then we cover all the way up to our Radeon RX Vega. So if you're the top of the line, you're a Threadripper type of CPU guy, RX Vega Amiga 56 or 64 is our best GPU for you.
Wow.
So if you want to play AAA games or virtual reality and really push the boundaries on all the games that you've seen launch here, you know, our top of the line also comes standard for you for if you want to push those boundaries.
Yeah.
But it's not just about the hardware for graphics.
Yeah.
Most gamers know that software matters, and you're mentioning, you know, we issue drivers, and our commitment to the gamer and our investment over the next few years, and we'll continue that commitment, is a driver for every major game release.
Wow.
So if you think about games, they're always coming out throughout the year, and what's most important for gamers to understand is when that game comes out and you buy it, go to our website if you have a Radeon GPU and download the driver. Our whole goal of our software team is optimize up until the last day that you can, so when that game comes out, you have the best experience with the Radeon GPU. We call that day zero drivers. And so we spend a lot of money, a lot of effort. We're hiring even more people to continue spending more money and effort.
Wow.
We want to make that experience great.
Well, as you said, you know, the technology is great, but it really is the software that brings it to life. So you guys have put together some special surprises for us in terms of looking at some games and some awesome partnerships that AMD has with developers that are here at E3 showcasing their content, including a game that was just announced a couple of days ago. Tell us a bit about, you know, partnering with game companies even this year so far. I think Far Cry, you guys had a great partnership with Ubisoft. What can you tell us about how you approach partnerships with these studios?
Yeah, you know, well, Far Cry is its own meme in the gaming community. You know, can it run Far Cry? And so that's always the litmus test for gamers. A lot of gamers in the industry can't run Far Cry. And so if it's an easy partnership with Ubisoft, Ubisoft is killing it this year. You know, they have fantastic franchises. They have fantastic games. And our partnership with Far Cry 5 was essentially, let's make sure that anyone who has a Radeon GPU and buys Far Cry 5 has a fantastic experience. Yeah. And then, you know, incorporate technologies where possible and optimize those technologies. So you can get high dynamic range in Far Cry 5 with Radeon GPUs. And, you know, if you have a FreeSync monitor, you can experience that stutter-free, smooth game experience so you stay in the game. So all of those technologies we made possible with their help. We spent a lot of time with them. And I'm happy to announce, we haven't announced anything about our relationship with Ubisoft, but I'm happy to announce that we will have a partnership with them on The Division 2.
Oh,
and
cool.
so you'll hear more about that. I'm not allowed to say anything more about that from here, but I'm happy to talk about. I'm happy that there'll be more information coming out shortly.
Well,
but
we do have a Division 2 panel next. So,
yeah, so perfect.
There's
so
more
perfect.
to come.
You talk to them.
I see everyone's getting excited for that. There are some other awesome games that you know, we're going to bring out here. Should bring out our first guest to talk about one of them. From the team at Rebellion, please welcome out Robbie and Tim. Guys, come on out. Hey, guys.
Hi.
Hey.
So Rebellion, this is not the first time you guys have worked with them, right, Scott?
No, we've worked with them many times. Hey, guys. By the way, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, cheers. So Sniper Elite 3 for us was a fantastic working collaboration with these guys, and we spent a lot of time making sure that game worked really well on the Radeon GPUs and the ecosystem. But I would rather have you guys talk. You know, I think gamers want to hear from the game developers about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's always been a pleasure working with you guys, and yeah, since our partnership on Sniper Elite 3, and indeed we work closely together on Sniper Elite 4 as well. And yeah, I mean, obviously Sniper Elite is an extremely important franchise to us. It's sold like, I think over 12 million copies now. I don't have the exact figures, but it's huge, and it's exciting because it's a real labor of love for us, and like our fans seem to agree and keep sticking with us from game to game.
Yeah, fantastic.
Well, and now, as the shirts tease, Strange Brigade is here at E3, and we're going to get to a live demo. But first, we're going to take a look at the latest trailer for Strange Brigade to show you guys all about it. Check it out.
All right.
For nearly 4,000 years, an unspeakable evil was buried, deliberately and methodically erased from ancient Egyptian history. Legend speaks of a cruel and murderous dynasty, of dark gods and unimaginable barbarity. Disturbed from her nameless tomb, Seteki, the Witch Queen, has risen again. Only one group of heroes can stand against the scourge of Sateki. The Strange Brigade! In a treacherous world of malevolent monsters and terrifying traps, 4 fearless adventurers fight for their lives, overcoming obstacles and puzzling predicaments, while keeping an ever-vigilant eye out for treasure troves and lost relics, unleashing explosive magic and obliterating ancient Egyptian horrors. Join the heroic Strange Brigade!
August 28th. I didn't know that. That's cool. We got a date for it, too.
Yeah. Not long to wait now.
So, by the way, you guys let me play this a little bit yesterday. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. There's some pretty cool moves in there. I don't know if maybe you'll show them, but there's some pretty cool moves in there that you guys have put in there, plus some other cool content. Maybe we can talk a little bit about
Yeah.
the game and show us some of the game.
Yeah,
Alright.
I mean, it's obviously a bit of a different flavor to Sniper Elite, which is a lot more serious. This time around, we're being a little bit more jovial and fun-loving with everything. It's based on the old sort of matinee movie serials of the early 20th century, the kind of things that influenced movies like Indiana Jones and Flash Gordon. It's all very tongue-in-cheek. And you play as the Strange Brigade. They're a group of secret government agents essentially fighting against the supernatural around the world to save the world from trouble. It's like for 1 to 4 player cooperatively. You can play it on your own, which is what we're going to show you here, but you can play with up to 4 players as well. And it's it's a lot of fun, action and adventure, puzzling and shooting and combat, and some magical powers as well, which Robbie will no doubt show shortly.
I shall try.
By the way, I really enjoy co-op games with my friends, you know, and them coming online. You can join online and working together towards puzzles and solving. So,
Yeah.
tell us, what was your thought about that when you built this?
Well, I mean, we've sort of focused one way or another on cooperative play in like so many of our games at Rebellion, whether it's Sniper Elite or Battlezone or in Zombie Army Trilogy and Strange Brigade. And we really like the way it sort of it forces and encourages players to work together. It's a very different vibe to the kind of PvP competitive kind of side of things, which is cool. But yeah, just we like the positive kind of gameplay experience that it offers, and it's definitely a good fit for the Strange Brigade.
And I gotta say, it looks incredible.
Thank you.
Thanks, AMD. But what kind of system are we playing this on?
This is the Alienware 51 with RX Vega and a Threadripper inside the system. Okay. So you know, if you
maxed out, only the best for this panel.
If you want to have an experience like this where you can, not even care about the settings, you just hit max and you walk away. Then
Ultra
this
extreme.
is for you. This is definitely for you. So we wanted to showcase this game in that regard, where if you have the best possible hardware, how do you do that? So this would be the experience you would get.
It does run like butter.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Well, this is it's your own engine technology.
That's right. Yeah. We're constantly upgrading it and improving it for every game. But essentially, it's like we use one game engine for all our games at Rebellion, whether on console or PC. So everything is like fully optimized for the hardware that people are using, and obviously the AMD hardware it's particularly comfortable with.
Well, and I love too that you guys are building new IP, because we have lots of franchises here at E3 that we love, and there's a new installment. But the fact that you guys, as an independent developer, are publishing this brand new IP, Strange Brigade. I know we've had you on the show for YouTube before here at E3.
Just killed the chicken.
Passion project. I know.
I killed the chicken. Where's PETA?
Violence on the panel.
Yeah. Kappa in the channel. Kill the chickens.
Yeah, actually, one of the characters in the game has a special ability where he can turn the enemies into chickens.
Oh.
Yeah, that kind of gives you some sense of the level of seriousness of the game. It's
Why we should have live chickens on the channel.
we should totally do that.
Well, it looks incredible. And obviously, you're getting close to shipping it in just a couple months.
Yeah, 28th of August. So yeah, it's in the final polishing stages now. We're really happy with where it's at, and like the response we've had at the show, particularly on this this demo, has been overwhelmingly positive. We're really excited. I think people are really digging on the fact that it's a really fresh take. Yeah. We've had a number of people saying there aren't many 1930s games, are there?
Yeah.
It's like it's not really a niche that anyone had particularly identified before, but I think there's a hunger for it.
No, it looks beautiful. And tell us a bit about working with AMD, that partnership. What does that allow you guys to do, or how have they helped you?
Well, it means that we can really sort of focus on making sure that everything is as optimized as it can be. I mean, we'll be doing like a benchmarking mode for Strange Brigade as well, much as we did with Sniper Elite, which is something that people really enjoy being able to check out, but it's really helpful for us as well, because we can always make sure that we're not missing any tricks, and we're squeezing every last little bit of juice out of the hardware, and ultimately making sure that gamers have the best possible experience they can. Yeah, that's a thrill for our artists as well. Our art team, you can see they've gone to town on this and had a great time turning these environments into kind of like a playable version of almost movie sets, and it means the gloves are off for those guys, because they know that they can sort of just throw as much cool stuff and detail at it as they possibly want to.
And I like the benchmarking mode for gamers, just if you have a budget. Then you can kind of see what do I need, and reviewers can use that to tell people this is the kind of experience in a new game, like Strange Brigade, that you would get out of a certain GPU or setup, and so that hopefully makes it easier for the gamers in the audience to transition. I want to play this game, I have this much money, let me go look at some benchmark scores that were built in the game to figure out what I need to buy. So
yeah,
it's very good that way.
Awesome. Well, it looks great, guys. Thanks so much for the sneak peek, Strange Brigade. We'll be able to check it out at the end of August on PC and also console, right?
That's right, yeah. PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 4, and yeah, running particularly well on AMD hardware.
Awesome.
Yeah, very good.
Let's give a round of applause to the guys at Rebellion, Strange Brigade. Awesome
good job,
to see
Robbie.
a new IP like that.
Looks good.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. All right, well, we have another special guest that's going to join us now. Scott, maybe tell us about who we have next.
Well, I think that it's important to understand that there was a big reveal that we saw, and our good friends at Capcom have a lot of amazing content, and we've been working with him on multiple different titles, but I would rather have him, instead of stealing his thunder, I'd like to have Pete come out and just maybe talk to us about maybe, some of the things that he showed yesterday, and maybe give the audience another peek at that today if possible.
Awesome. All right, well, please welcome out all the way from Japan, Pete from Capcom. Well, Pete, thanks. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks. Oh, wow.
Wow,
big fan base. Good to see you.
Hey, good job. Good job yesterday, sir. Thanks for coming today.
Yes. If you watched the PlayStation press conference, there was a big reveal. Here, do the honors. Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, it's back. We're working on a reimagining of the title, taking a modern, fresh take on what we've got. There's only so much we can reveal just now, but I think everyone's seen the iconic characters back to Raccoon City Police Department, and we've made it fresh for today.
I want to get to the demo of it where he's going to show, but I have to say, as a fan of the original Doom that scared the crap out of me, thank you for launching this game soon, and I'm really super excited to play it.
I mean, the credit goes to the dev team. We've got some veterans on the team. We've got some really passionate people putting it together, and of course, we've got Hirabayashi. This was his thing from the beginning since he first said, "We do it." So I think we've got something special that we're putting together for fans and for newcomers alike.
And PC fans too, right?
Of course, yes. The great thing here is that it's day and date. We are going to be launching on January 25th, 2019 on the PC.
Awesome.
So it's pretty exciting, yeah. Something special for Resident Evil, I think.
Should we take a look at the trailer? I don't know if you guys have seen this, but we're going to look again at the amazing announcement trailer.
Yeah, thanks. I think it's probably an example of someone's worst day on the job ever.
It was great. The press conference was great because we didn't quite know what game it was. It's masterfully done. So take a look again at the announcement trailer for Resident Evil 2.
To the citywide outbreak, you are advised to take shelter at the Raccoon City Police Station. Free food and medical supplies will be provided to everyone in need.
Something's not right.
Stay back, sir. I got this.
What the? Is anyone here? Jesus. They're everywhere.
I'm giving you an order, rookie. You save yourself first.
Help me, please!
What in God's name?
Yeah.
There it is.
It's good. It's really good.
Amazing. So maybe tell us a bit about
Sure.
how you're working with AMD. What are some of the technologies and things you're going to be able to do in the PC
Well,
version?
the team is currently working on optimization, but we're happy to say that we will be supporting DX12, and we're going to be working with FreeSync 2 as well.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you for the support on that.
Yeah, of
and,
course.
And,
Thank
and what's
you
great,
guys.
what's great about that is, DX12 allows you to run the game faster with our GPUs and make sure that you're getting the most performance across the lineup to make that game run perfectly for gamers. So I'm excited that your team has helped us with that, and we're helping with you. And then, of course, FreeSync, you don't want to get out of that environment, right? You don't want stuttering or tearing to happen. So FreeSync monitor technology allows you to do that. If you have a capable monitor and a Radeon GPU, you can just stay in that horror scene and feel scared all the time. So that's fantastic. Thank you for your support on that.
Yeah, thank you very much. And of course, 4K and HDR as well. So.
Yeah.
It looks amazing. I love that AMD working with developers around the world, right? And the fact that you guys are partnering with Capcom, development over in Japan. It's games are played around the world, and it's great to see you guys supporting developers all over the place. So, Peter, thanks for the sneak peek.
Thank you.
Resident Evil 2.
Thanks for having us here.
Yeah, and before we wrap up, we got something pretty special we're doing with you, Scott, and AMD. And first of all, I want to thank you personally and AMD for supporting the Coliseum. You guys have been with me since the beginning for Game Awards, and if you guys enjoy any of the panels or sessions here, it's only possible thanks to partners like AMD. And you've got the VIP lounge up on the 4th floor, where a lot of gamers here. You can go check out some of these technologies and systems that Scott's been so powerful in helping these games come to life. But we've got something over here.
Yeah. We have. For sale right now throughout the world is what we call the AMD Combat Crate. It's really a starter kit. Has a CPU, GPU, and a motherboard in it. So right now in this one is a Ryzen CPU. We have a Radeon GPU, or a 580 in there, and then an MSI motherboard. We sell these worldwide, but for the audience that attended today live, if you look underneath your chair, or if there's, if you take a look underneath the chair, if you are one of the lucky 5 to find a card under your chair, what I would ask you to do is take that card up to the AMD lounge and then turn that in, and we will provide a free AMD Combat Crate.
A free crate?
For you.
Oh, wow. All right.
And get you started on building a system so that all these games we just showed
People
you
are
today,
tearing apart the furniture here, looking for their keys. That's amazing, Scott. No, I love that you guys are giving back to gamers not only by helping us bring Coliseum to life, but also allowing you guys. That's a pretty amazing combat crate kit. So that's awesome. Well, thanks so much to AMD. Peter, thank you. Scott, again, thank you for everything, and we're looking forward to seeing how AMD continues to advance the state of computing technology, but also gaming.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff.
Awesome.
Thanks, Pete.
Thanks very much, guys. Really appreciate it. We'll be right back. Thanks guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.